Hello, biology students. Welcome to this quick introduction into pedigrees. So pedigrees are a family tree that show a trait or a characteristic that we've been studying. So this pedigree that I have here is obviously for blood typing. Now let me give you a little bit of a overview or of a kind of orient you to this pedigree. In this pedigree, I can tell, I know intuitively that the top two individuals here are the most distant ancestors. So let's suppose that this is me right here. So I know, so if this is me, so this is Mr. Eckert, I'm individual X. So we have, on here, we have 5 generations. So hopefully you know your Roman numerals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so I also know that if something is connected with a bar across, that means that this is a couple that had children together. Doesn't necessarily show marriage, but in the traditional sense, that this would show marriage and then having children. So I can tell that this person here, 1A and 1B. So and when I'm numbering these, I want to do like the person and then the generation. So 1A, 1B. They had how many kids? So they drop down here, and their children are the ones that come down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 children. And then some of them had kids, some of them did not have children. Also embedded will be if we also have a key down here at the bottom. So my key down here is at the bottom. It could be in the top. It's going to be someplace to orient you. So circles are going to be male, and squares are going to be female. In this pedigree, it could be different in different pedigrees. The author will define it. It will then define what the different shapes are as far as the characteristics. So here with blood with A, they've colored in the left side of the shape. B is the right side. The whole thing is filled in, and then O is not filled in at all. So you can start seeing how the organisms are placed here. I have no idea what this this B is right here. This is an old pedigree that I was just borrowing for this introduction. We can also start, like if we can look at organisms and we can start predicting whether or not there could be some abnormality. So I can tell really quickly right here. So these two individuals. So this person had A blood and this person had O blood, but they had a child who had B blood. So something's going on there. So sometimes with pedigrees, you can identify that there is a genetic abnormality that could have existed. We can also, like in this case right here, we don't know what this person is. Maybe they never had their blood tested for a blood type, but they had a person. They had a child who was A blood, so we know that they can't be O, and we know that they can't be B, but they could be A, or they could be AB, based on the laws of genetics. What's the most probable? We really don't know. In fact, actually, we do know. I know that this person can't be AB. Now that I look at this, why do I know they can't be AB? Because this child had O. So we actually know this person would have had to have been an A who carried an O. So they would have had to have been A, the big I, or in the A and the O gene would have had to have been their characteristics. Now, let me talk a little bit about relatedness. So remember I said this is me right here, okay? So I know that if this is me, this is my wife. This would be kind of like my sister-in-law. These are my children. In fact, I'm a bad example because I married into the family. So that's actually probably not the best choice to pick because I married into this family. Let's go with somebody who let's talk about perhaps in my we'll use this individual here as kind of a reference point. This is a sister. These are parents. Okay, so mom and dad. Now, if this is mom and this is dad, or excuse me, mom and dad, so this is M for mom and D for dad, how would this individual be related to this person? So your mom's sister, how would that be related to you? So your mom, and I know not everybody's going to have a mom who has a sister, but if your mom or dad have siblings, what are they to you? Well, those are aunts and uncles. So this is actually this generation here would then be this is be the aunt of this person. And you're never going to be tested on the relatedness. It's just kind of fun to kind of figure out from a pedigree sometimes what the relatedness are. Now let's go all the way back here to this person in the pedigree. What relationship is this to my wife? So this is parent. I'm going to work back, and so parent, grandparent, great grandparent. And if it went back another generation, it'd be great great grandparent. putting those greats in front of things. What do get tricky sometimes are the great uncles and great aunts. The way we actually figure those things out really quickly. So this is my mom. This was grandma. So I know I can't read that. So GM. So GM for grandma. Grandma's brother actually becomes your great uncle. Is actually what happens there. So your grandparents. So whoever your grandparents are, if they had siblings, those are your great uncles and great aunts. You've probably heard of those such things, but you probably never, what the heck does that mean? Now, the other thing I'll talk really quickly about are cousins. I'm going to clear what we have here. So I'm going to, again, I'll talk about my wife here. Uh, oh, wait, I guess this is my wife right here. Let's take this individual right here. It makes it a little easier. So this individual here, this is a sister. Now, the other siblings on this, or the other on this row, so all of these and all of these, well, those are cousins. So they're not brothers or sisters, but they're cousins because this person's parents and their siblings had kids, and those are first cousins. The next row down would actually be second cousins. So if we take all of these individuals down here, all these down here, those would be kind of like second cousins. We have. So in this pedigree, here's kind of another way of thinking about those cousins. So everything here, these are siblings. The next row here are going to be first cousins. The next row is second cousins, and then the next row would be third cousins. So third cousins are siblings of second cousins. Again, I'll never ask you that. I mean, I'm asking you on this quizzes that you're about to take just for fun, but relatedness is not necessarily something that's going to be asked on the end of course exam. Just something fun that I threw in for you. And so if you also have, like, remember we said, let me clear this one last time and I promise I'll be done. So this person, let me take this person and this person were first cousins. So they were first cousins. If we take this person's offspring down here, how are they related to this person? Well, they're actually, some people think second cousins, but they're not. And this is how this works. So this person and this person were first cousins. Okay, and they're first cousins because their parents were siblings. If this person has kids, then these people, these offspring here, would be first cousins once removed. Now, what's once removed means one generation removed. That means that they are one generation down from the first cousins. And you may have actually first cousins once removed and you never thought about this. So if you have any first cousins, if this is in your real life, if you have any first cousins that you know, so your parents' siblings, and then those first cousins had children, because I don't think any of you have kids in here yet, but if any of those first cousins have kids, then their children to you are first cousins once removed. You're actually more genetically related to them than you would be second cousins. All right, so I've talked long enough here on this, so now continue on with the questions on this pedigree quizzes and have fun. Oh, I will make sure that you actually should get, make sure you get a copy of the pedigree that's called Colorblind Trait Pedigree. It's over on the side tables. You will want that. You'll see what it looks like, but it's called Colorblind Trait Pedigree. You will need that for the continuation of these questions. All right, thanks.